When I was still coming up, we had something called LeBronto. It was basically this prolonged stretch where no matter what the Raptors did, they just couldn't handle LeBron James. And now here we are all these years later, and I'm becoming convinced that YokeAngeles is a thing. Regular season domination, playoff domination, individual domination, it really does check every box. And so today I am presenting you a comparison of some sorts from LeBronto to what I guess we are calling YokeAngeles. And just as a disclaimer, shout out to my guy Swish Out. I was notified while I was live actually. He did a video just like this maybe in the last week. I've not watched it yet, and I was also done writing this one by the time I figured it out, so I doubt it'll be the exact same, as none of my ad transitions have been over the years. Shout out to DraftKings. Long gone are the days waiting in long lines at midnight to get the best deals for your favorite things on Black Friday. Now all you gotta do is check out my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook, who have touchdowns on sale all weekend long. Right now, all new DraftKings customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code DOM2K. That's right, check out the DraftKings Sportsbook app all weekend long to stay up to date on all the touchdown offers available. And don't forget to stay in on the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code DOM2K and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code DOM2K only at DraftKings Sportsbook. LeBronto took place at a time when matters were simply getting out of hand. The Raptors officially hit the scene in 2014 while James was still a member of the Miami Heat. Winning 48 games set a franchise record, the most they'd won since inception in 1996. In short, they'd had some fun and memorable moments, yet hadn't really come close to being a serious franchise in nearly 2 decades. Fast forward a couple years and now they've set another 56 wins, taking them to second seed behind none other than LeBron himself. By default, it put Toronto in position to be the expected conference finals challenger, especially since all the previous challengers had been critically injured and knocked out of discussion. It just wasn't even a fair task to begin with. For 2 straight years, they performed well in the regular season, only to get to the first round where Lowry and DeRozan sharply underperformed. Great guys, but these were not the answers to LeBron's juggernauts, and they never would be. Still, that's what they were tasked with in 2016, and actually put up a decent fight, tying the series to eventually lose in 6. James averaged 26, 9, and 7 with 2 steals a game on 62% from the field. And honestly, this legendary highlight from Game 1 just about set the tone for what the next few years would bring.
James on the drive!
Yeah, Braun went to his 6th straight finals as expected. However, the series gave Cleveland their only 2 Eastern losses on the way, providing some air of legitimacy to the doomed franchise from the 6. This was further aided by the 2 tying in the standings for 2017, which was incredibly misleading because this was a Cavs roster with a couple more pieces added in an attempt to keep up with Golden State. The 2-3 finish ensured a semifinals meeting this time around, allowing the work to be done early, and quite a bit more brutally. There were no serious questions about if Toronto stood a real chance now, and LeBron made sure it stayed that way, this time posting 36 per game paired with 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 57% from the field, followed by 48 from 3. Funny enough, he followed up 2016's Game 1 punctuation with another statement to show there were no games being played.
Irving off the backboard for James!
Seriously, what you're gonna see each year is, there was a literal moment which just screamed, I don't take y'all seriously. And why would he? I vividly remember watching this press conference with my dad and immediately telling him this group would never fuck with LeBron.
If we had LeBron on our team too, we would have won.
If we had LeBron on our team, we would have won. I love DeMar, I really do. This remains the craziest thing I've ever heard a 1-star player say about his rival in the middle of their rivalry. It was like putting the sword down mid-match. Hearing this was probably the main reason why when the 2018 Raptors won 59 games, I didn't give serious thought to them eliminating Cleveland. Oh, a much worse version of Cleveland, by the way. Both 2016 and 17 seemed like foregone conclusions. Braun, Irving, and Love with a supporting cast simply wasn't tenable for any Eastern unit at the time. Okay, now remove Irving from the mix and add a random assortment of role players thrown together mid-season. Hypothetically, a Raptors team who was now at their best would be able to have their way. Except Braun just had them, and kept having them, over and over again.
Well, the other night, like I told you, I took them 2 shots to make the shot from the tunnel.
Oh, LeBron! He is in full rhythm right now. Backing down Lowry. Heat check. Still sizzling.
Buckman, you're not going to double team him. Come on, he's going to have his way here.
LeBron fades away over Siakam. LeBron coming off the Thompson screen. Fade away. LeBron backing down DeRozan. There's that fadeaway, and it's butter for LeBron James.
Hold on.
We're speechless, Hubie Brown.
No.
That was incredible. It's going to be James.
Sure. Here it is. See, it's under
3 seconds to go. Throws up the floater. Off glass. Good night, Cleveland. That is for you.
Okay, 2 quick points. First, the game winner was hilarious because the series was definitely already over and he flat out invented some shit to crush the tiny bit of hope they might have had about coming back after losing home court advantage. Also, I have no clue which is the signature moment here to go with the dunks. Cause the floater fits nicely for sure, yet the rude barrage of fadeaways is what triggered Mark Jackson to coin it LeBronto. For his final act, he averaged 34 points, 11 assists, 2 steals, and 8 rebounds on 55%. His 16% from 3 didn't even matter, as you saw. In total, over the 3-year span, his averages came out to 31, 8, and 7 on 58%. I don't think I said the worst part. 2018 was another sweep. Yeah, I gave Toronto the decency of believing their 60-win unit could take LeBron's worst roster in years 7, and it went 4. Absolutely humiliating. Making matters worse, Lowry and DeRozan once again shrank under the lights, proving, as I said earlier, it was never gonna be them. In short, it wasn't just about the fact they were losing, it was how they were losing. Stories eventually released of James telling Raptors players where they were supposed to be during certain plays. He flat out spun the ball in Ibaka's face once before calmly draining a contested 3. I'd go as far as to say I've never seen a player simply toy with the franchise who was supposed to be some of his biggest competition. He was just having fun at times in the middle of a series, determining if his final streak lived to see another day. Hard to match that, right?
Shot clock at 4. Jokic has to put it up. Falling away, puts it up. Bang! NikoLA Jokic knocks it down. His foot was on the line. A 2-pointer. What a shot. Jokic just gets it off in time. It's up. Oh, it's good. Of course it goes in. Jokic from downtown. Anthony Davis just stares at him.
Okay, start at square one. What would we even call this? You've got the play on his name with LA, YokeAngeles, and LeBron has beaten NikoLA in the playoffs before. Okay. This, for one thing, is why I just don't even talk serious hoops on Twitter anymore. People are dense for no reason. Anyways, yes, once upon a time, LeBron did beat him in the playoffs 4 years ago, before anybody was actually taking Denver seriously. Still, it is a difference, as Toronto never really even got close over the time period. That's what's so fascinating about Yoke's version. He managed to take an L early and still come back to dominate long and hard enough for me to be making this vid. Take a look. Of the 36 total career games against LeBron, he's got 20 of them. However, we're obviously confining this to the last few years where it became noticeable Los Angeles couldn't beat them. Dating back to the 2023 conference finals, Denver would rattle off 10 straight victories, concluding in 2024's first round, which was especially impressive considering they're in the same conference and see each other regularly. But how about the specifics? It's important to remember that the 2023 postseason was the first time the Nuggets had contender status, given Murray's ACL shaved 2 years off the process. Now going head-to-head for a realistic shot at the finals, Yoke posted 28 points, 15 rebounds, and 11 assists while shooting 50 from the field and 47% from 3. They were loud too, as you saw. The contested threes over AD were so egregious, memes came off the press surrounding how his amazing defense simply had no impact. Despite it being a sweep, a majority of the games were close, making it hurt that much more since they conceivably stood a chance. I guess this is also a difference from Toronto. Averaging a triple-double with a block and a steal to sweep your ops and eventually win the title? Yeah, sure, they beat Jokic in the playoffs before. They did not beat this Jokic in the playoffs. Come on, please be serious. Once again deviating from LeBronto, YokeAngeles spins into the regular season, where the Lakers especially stood no chance as they were already a good bit worse off roster-wise. Jokic again posted 3 separate masterclasses, as although they'd lost an important piece in Bruce Brown, he kept them head and shoulders above purple and gold. An important statement given how the first round would end up being a rematch. And the discourse had kind of turned to, sure, LA can't beat contenders, you still don't want to see LeBron and AD in the first round if possible. Jokic was delighted to see LeBron and AD in the first round, this time with a little bit of that toying around factor we spoke of in LeBronto. LA led by 12 in the first half of game 1, only to see the lead dissolve in 4 minutes of the second quarter. LA led by 19 halfway through the third of game 2 and by 8 with 5 minutes left in regulation, only to die by a Jamal Murray fadeaway. Side note, Los Angeles led for 44 minutes and 47 seconds of game time compared to Denver's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. LA held a fairly consistent 9 to 10 point lead through the first half of game 3. They completely bottomed out in the second and forfeited any remaining chance to win the series. Must have been painful considering they had great stretches and even won game 4. Still, the damage was done by this point. LA fell one way or another for 10 straight matches. Meanwhile, Jokic was on the way to finishing this series with 28, 16, and 10 on nearly 60%. If you put these numbers up to any LeBronto series, it's very nearly just as bad. Finishing up with insult, Los Angeles would once again be competitive for nearly all of game 5, only to lose by yet another Jamal dagger, and be sent home right in the heat of the moment. So there's one final difference, I guess. While LeBron had nearly all of the memorable moments of his own era, Murray will definitely show up in the highlights of YokeAngeles. It's just, the ass whooping is still going as we speak. Just a couple Saturdays ago, Jokic put another 34, 13, and 8 on the boys with 60-40 splits. The fuckery included this standing tap-in alley-oop while being crowded, which I just don't know if I've ever seen. At the end of the half, he also figured why not try to volleyball punt a heave with no time remaining. The fact I expected it to go in speaks volumes. In short, yeah, LeBronto objectively probably got it right now. 16 and 17 were one thing, but to then come back while they were the first seed and step all over everything they built was just nasty. Hell, it was the series responsible for them finally letting go of DeRozan. LeBron didn't just coach up their players, he damn near led them to gold. While he's still amazing, he's not in his prime anymore, and the Lakers really haven't been the same since 2020, as for one reason or another, they haven't been taken seriously as title contenders since. Due to that fact, it'll be hard for Jokic to push this to the severity of LeBronto. He's very likely to be on the better team from here on out, and I don't think it'll ever reach 2018 levels of disparity against him. Still, as we speak, the teams aren't so far off anymore given how Denver has lost so much since their title, and continued dominance in YokeAngeles will certainly count towards it. Dating back to game 1 of the 2023 conference finals, he's averaged 29, 9, and 13. It's been so destructive, it was once tweeted about how the Lakers may have found something putting Rui Hachimura on him. The point isn't about how funny it is that this was only a thing for what, a quarter, a game? It's more so that Yoke had him searching for defensive answers in Rui Hachimura on a team featuring Anthony Davis. I rest my case. You may say LeBronto was worse than YokeAngeles as long as you're willing to accept YokeAngeles does in fact exist.